Good evening. Happy spring. Yes, first day of spring, so I have to wear something bright and colourful. It's kind of a tradition. Sometimes it's shoes, sometimes it's earrings. Today it was a frock. Tonight I wanted to talk about making tough decisions. I've talked a little bit about decision fatigue and strategies for making decisions in the past, but I wanted to really touch on hard decisions. You know, those decisions where you want to curl into a ball and disappear from the world because it all just feels too hard. They're not easy decisions to make, and sometimes there are decisions that should not be taken lightly, and you need to be really strategic about it. But you also need to, whilst sitting down and going pros and cons of the decisions, you also really need to trust your gut. Like your gut in terms of health and in terms of your life is like the center of everything. It is so involved in everything in your life, and sometimes your gut just goes, yes, no, this is what you have to do. But sometimes those gut instincts that we make can be based on past habits, and when we're making decisions from those kind of places, sometimes for a lot of us it can be a bit of a cut off your nose to spite your face kind of decision. I've been guilty of that in the past. I think I'm pretty good at not doing that anymore. Really do try not to, especially I try to be really logical. Like I try to use, hard decisions are the perfect time for you to combine left brain, right brain thinking. Like it's the time when you really need the different ways your mind processes things to actually fit and work, okay? That's when you really need to make both parts of you talk and be cohesive. A friend of mine's business many years ago was a stationery company, and she had notebooks that had like pros and cons of decisions, and you could actually like just sit and write those. You can do it on any piece of paper. And one of the things to actually ask yourself is like a future thinking kind of thing. If you're future thinking this decision and you go with road A, what's future you going to say about that? What's future you, kisses to you too, Kim. What's future you going to say if you go road B, you know, like, and you always know. You think you don't, but you always know. And we overanalyze and we get hyper analytical about things especially when other people are involved, and you need to remove all that. Don't be asking, if it's a really tough decision, don't be asking 10 friends for their opinion, because they're not walking in your steps. Their opinion actually doesn't matter. What matters is you tomorrow morning when you wake up going to agree with the decision that you today made. Are you willing, this is the other part of tough decisions, is are you willing to face whatever consequences are because of that decision? Now, a tough decision for you might be a boundary decision, you know. If someone lights a cigarette in your house, you're going to ask them to leave, you know. They light up a cigarette, you ask them to leave. That could be a really tough decision for you to make, because there might be consequences with your friend. Tomorrow you might wake up and go, oh shit, I should have just told them to, you know, go down the back. You know, it wasn't that big a deal. Other things are bigger, and you might not be willing to face the consequences of those decisions. So what I suggest you do, and obviously this is, you know, raw for me at the moment because of stuff, what I want you to do when you do have these tough decisions is take time out, like remove yourself from other decisions. And that's as simple as what you're eating for breakfast. Like whatever you cannot make a decision on for 24 hours when you're faced with a tough decision, go down that road, you know. Wear old clothes, just grab toast. Don't call people. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb and just actually have space to do the thinking. Old-fashioned notebook, get it out. Pros, cons. The future you. What are you going to think? What are the consequences? What are the financial consequences? What are the emotional consequences? What are the friendship consequences of these decisions? The decision that you have to make. Sometimes you might have to decide to fire someone. Like that's a tough decision for us to make. And sometimes we have to do those things. Sometimes we have to make decisions to not go somewhere. And sometimes those decisions can hurt people, okay? So you can't just do it quickly. You do need to really think about them. So pros, cons, remove yourself from other decisions. Go with your gut. Like really listen to your gut and future you. They're my top tips for it. And once you've made that decision, you have to ask yourself whether you're willing to accept all the consequences of that decision. If you are, then that's the right decision that you have made, okay? So that's all I wanted to share with you, because I've talked about decision making a lot and decision fatigue because it's a really big thing. So give yourself permission when it's a tough decision you've got to make to do those kind of things, okay? Take time, write it out, go with your gut, and be willing to accept full responsibility and all the consequences of the decision that you make, okay? Mwah! Happy spring!